Boredar or Pronoundar, every pony. This is BronyDan. It's not original, but hey, you try coming up with originality these days. Well, it would appear we have reached the end of the map episodes for this season, and in my opinion, I think they've all been good, but let's just hope this one doesn't break the chain. So let's take a look at the Hooffields and the McColts. We open up with Fluttershy having a book meeting with her animals.
I love Furry Friends Book Club.
What?
I love Furry Friends Book Club.
Okay, that statement could be taken out of context a little bit. But it turns out that it is now Fluttershy's turn to be summoned by the map and go on a friendship mission, and it turns out her partner in this is Twilight. You know, I'm kind of happy that Twilight is going along with this mission. I mean, I was afraid it would go down the route of her not being summoned until the finale, where she would have to go on this big solo mission to defeat the big enemy of the season.
But I want to be 100% prepared. I mean, I'm the Princess of Friendship. How would it look if I couldn't solve a friendship problem?
Twilight, last episode you said you do not get jealous because you're the Princess of Friendship. And now you're saying that you can solve any friendship problem because you have the title. Are we not feeling a little bit big-headed at the moment?
And there isn't a lot of information.
Bye, Spike. Bye, Spike. So the map seems to be sending them to the Smoky Mountains, and Twilight has packed everything they need.
Snacks, books, blankets, books.
You said books twice.
There are a lot of books.
Have you considered the possibilities of getting a Kindle, Twilight? You know, we can save up room, and you can put as many books as you want onto it. Or do you just like the feeling of paper being turned? If so, then I respect you. So they set off for the Smoky Mountains, and it would appear that their friendship problem is a bit bigger from what they were expecting.
It's nothing like your book said it would be.
Oh boy, I'm feeling very unprepared.
I was prepared to do my best. Thought I could handle any test. For I can do so many tricks, but I wasn't prepared for this.
They go over to where the pumpkins are being fired from and try to talk with the leader.
We're pumpkining our neighbors.
Yes, but, why are you pumpkining your neighbors?
For historical references, why else would we be doing it? These are the Hooffields, as they are involved in a feud with their neighbours, the McColts. So yes, this episode is in fact a parallel to the real-life feud of the Hatfields and the McCoys, one of the most brutal and bloody feuds of American history.
We have to travel a ways away to buy our food. And now, we'll be stuck eating the pumpkins the Hooffields launched at us. Pumpkin bread, pumpkin soup, pumpkin quesadillas, pumpkin paella, pumpkin seeds, pumpkin pie, pumpkin frittatas.
Curse those Hooffields for providing us with free food and sustenance! Soranos!
Attention, Hooffields and McColts. I'm not on any pony side, but I can see you're both wasting time and resources on being mean to each other. Ponies are supposed to help each other and be kind. So, let's stop this senseless fighting!
Really? That was your solution, Twilight? Just make a random speech and hope everything would fix itself? Well, what did you think was going to happen? Well, since blindly thinking the solution would go away, Twilight and Fluttershy go back and forth between the Hooffields and the McColts to try and figure out why they are fighting. And the longer this episode plays out, the more I'm reminded of another show. I'm sure many of you are familiar with the series Avatar: The Last Airbender, you know, one of the greatest shows of all time, and specifically the episode The Great Divide. You know, the one where Aang, Katara and Sokka meet two squabbling tribes while trying to cross the Great Divide. It's also the top contender for the worst episode of the entire show. I honestly hope I don't have to say that for this episode. Well, Fluttershy suggests having the sides show how sorry they are by having the Hooffields bake a cake for the McColts and presenting it to them as a gesture of good faith. Wow, I never thought I'd find an appropriate time to say this, but the cake is a lie!
You planted ponies in that cake? Yeah!
Who cares of the possibility that I may have accidentally killed most of my family, as long as it was in the name of sweet revenge? God, you're thick! So now that Twilight has apparently just given up because her book failed her, Fluttershy figures out what happened. How? Are you ready for this? The animals know everything that happened between the Hooffields and the McColts. Yes. This is now happening.
Long ago, there were two best friends, Grub Hooffield and Piles McColt. They made a promise to each other to protect and preserve the valley for all its adorable furry inhabitants. But they disagreed on how to go about it. The valley suffered from the constant destruction until finally the Hooffields and McColts moved to separate mountains. Even then, the valley and all the animals in it continued to be caught in the crossfire.
And so after realizing this, the Hooffields and the McColts make amends and Twilight and Fluttershy leave on a job well done, while I'm sitting here thinking, how the fuck does the squirrel know about this? I mean, if we go by the actual historical fact of the Hatfields and McCoys feud, which lasted about 28 years, both sides probably could still remember what caused the conflict, as both leaders were still alive by the end of it. We can assume that both Grubs and Piles are dead by now, so this must have gone on longer if no one remembers it. And the average lifespan of a squirrel is around 6 years, so how the hell did he get his information from? I mean, what, do squirrels have little history lessons about how their home was destroyed by two rednecks? And were they seriously trying to have an environmental message in this as well? Right there, you have just committed episodic suicide. God, this episode just felt like a bad Friends Forever comic. It just seemed to be more interested in exploiting the obvious character traits of our main heroes than trying to tell a strong story with it. Twilight likes books, let's make her totally dependent upon books. Fluttershy likes animals, let's have animals be the saviors of this entire thing. The arguing between the feuding families just got boring and repetitive, which for me sums up the entire episode. Well, it does have some similarities with The Great Divide, in that it is boring and a complete waste of time. And I really don't like saying that about this show. Well, this is BronyDan saying, Nostar.
Savages, savages, and even human, now we sound